the Inoue Gendo saying number 20. Number 20 will be all right. Okay. So number 20 says the Dharma. What is Dharma? This is the most important kind of expression, kind of matter. As long as we just practice the Zazen. So what is Dharma? Dharma is our true self. Our true self is Dharma. What we just thinking about our self is kind of delusional or kind of the imagination of us, the thinking. That is not true. That is not true. The true ourselves is Dharma itself. Dharma itself. So if you just realize the Dharma itself is our truth, then a kind of what people just think thinking of a kind of suffering, question, trouble, whatever it is, gone away. Yeah, absolutely disappeared. So this is the main things we have to just realize. This is a Zazen. This is a Zazen. Then what the Gyenos just mentioned about the Dharma, or teach us the Dharma is. There are truths called eyes, ears, nose, tongue, and mind and mind. This is a kind of six senses. You just call it. And regarding them, form, voices, smell, taste, touch. This is the kind of circumstances. Just when you see the things, when you see the things just happen for eyes. When the sound come out in your eyes, the things just happen. The sound just happen for ears. This is a kind of natural or fundamental function. This is our truth. This is our true self. But what's happened when the people just hear the sound? Then people just then they recognize the sound, and then people say, "I hear the sound. I heard the sound." This is the kind of delusion or the imagination of thinking, because there is a separation. There is a separation between the sound or the things or the sound and what we call the ourselves. There is a complete separation between those. See, this is not true. You see, when you see the things, you just become what you just faced. This is our true self. And when you just see this, see, you just simply you just become the things you face. This is our truth. Then you recognize the things you face. Then what happened is there is a separation between the things you just recognize and the person who just recognized. You see, there is a separation between those. This is not true. The truth, our true self, or the truth is when you face this, simply you just become this. There's no separation between that and this. This is our truth. This is Dharma. That's the reason it's very difficult, far beyond the difficulty, to just recognize what I just mentioned about. You see, it's very so swiftly just happen. When you see this, then you recognize that and this. See, this changing or these things just happen so quickly, so swiftly. That's the reason people just completely deceive. What people just deceive is that is that. This is this. Completely, people just think think of the those that and this one is completely separated, completely different. This is a delusion. This is a cause us trouble and suffering. It's only this one. See, before you recognize that, there is no separation between that and this. This is true. Oh, very easy. Very easy to say, but very the most difficult. The most difficult to just realize what it is. What it is. See, this is Zazen. That's the reason the Shakyamuni Buddha or the patriarchs just recommend us to do Zazen. Otherwise, we never be able to just realize this truth. So that much Zazen is so important. So marvelous to do. Okay. There are two, okay. This one, what you just, people think about this as a human body. But this is not a human body. This is a Dharma body. Dharma body, not a human body. You see, basically people just completely misunderstand this. See, what people think of this as a human body. This is not a true. See, truth is this is a Dharma body. When you face this, you just become these things. This is become this. No separation between this. No separation between this. Between that and this. Then, so many years ago, once the Keizen, Zen Master Keizen, just realized this truth. You see, Zen Master Keizen is the fourth patriarch, fourth founder, the fourth founder from the fourth founder of the Eihei Temple from Zen Master Dogen, fourth founder. Once he just realized his truth. See, he just went to his master name is Tetsu Gikai. Then he says, I finished everything. I finished everything. Then his master just asks, what did you accomplish? Then he said, complete blackboard. The complete blackboard are painted by the Kash. Kash was what's called it? The Urushiは Kash じゃなくてです。Lantern, kind of painted kind of black one. Then a black round board just rolled into the darkness. He says something like this: the complete the black, completely black ball just throw away. I made a mistake. Throw away the into the darkness. You see, when you just throw away the completely the paint black the ball into the darkness, the black ball and the darkness is different, not the same, different. But you never distinguish which is which. You never be able to just distinguish which is which. See, because both of them are completely black. You never distinguish. You never just be able to see through which is which. See, this is right now, right here. See, when you just face this, when you face this one that's different, different. But you never be able to which is which because exactly oneness. This is our truth. See, when you face death, you completely become different. Then that things just the case, they must case just told his master. His master says, "Okay, you finished everything." See, it means you totally just realize who you are. Yeah. This right now, when you face this, you simply just become this. This is our true self. Oh, this is Dharma. This is Dharma. This one, but as I just mentioned about this one is not what we just think about the human body. This is the Dharma body. Dharma. That's the reason when you face this, there is no separation. There is no separation between this and this. Because of this one, because this one is not what we think about the human body, but Dharma body. See, so you just face this. You just become this. You just become this. Simply, without doing anything, without doing anything, you simply just become this. Why do we have to just become this? You see, this is the most important question for human being, for us. See, why when we just face this, why we have to just become this? Like something like exactly the things you face. We just become exactly the things we just face right now. Why we have to do it? Why do we have to become something like this? See, this is the most important question for human being, for us. See, but we never be able to have this question because there is a complete separation between that and this. You see, because what we are just what circumstances we just live in is the living of the thinking or thought. We never separate from we will never be able to separate from the thinking or thought. We always just try to think about what it is, what to think, what I have to do. Always we just thinking about something. We never separate from the thinking or thought. Once you just completely separate from the thinking or thought, then you'll be able to just recognize or realize, that and this is no separation at all. exactly oneness. But once you are completely separate from thinking and thought, this is Zazen, this is Zazen. This is Zazen we have to do. This Zazen Shakyamuni Buddha or the patriarchs just recommend us to do. This doesn't, otherwise you never be able to just realize this. When you face death, you see right now, when you face death, you simply just become the things you faced without doing anything, without awareness, you just, when you face this, see, when you just become this sound. See, when you just become oneness, see, you never be able to just realize anything. There is nothing exists at all. Even this sound, nowhere exists at all. Then almost same time you just recognize this, then kind of sound just come out. Just before you recognize that, nothing exists at all. Nothing exists at all. Of course, the kind of people thinking about the self never exists. Never exists. This is a very important thing. These things, the first human being just realize is a Shakyamuni Buddha. See, this one very hard, one of the most hardest, most difficult to just realize. Almost same, almost the same time just happened. When you become this, then you realize that and you separate that and this. Oh. So the only way you can just realize this is that Zazen. Zazen is the most important thing. In other words, you never be just satisfied with anything. You never be able to just satisfy with everything. Whatever you are doing, wherever you are, you never be able to satisfy anything. See, but once you realize this, then you completely satisfied with anything, everything, whatever just you're doing, wherever you are completely safe, peace. Oh, this is the most important things for us to do. So there are tools called eyes, ears, nose, tongue, and the mind. And regarding them, form, voices, smell, taste, touch, and the objects of mind called objects, field of the senses are shown as an object. It means when you just face it, you just become simply you just become the things you face. So there is no separation between that and this. No, so you never just recognize anything. But then almost same time over after that, you just recognize this. Then the things just recognize the person who just recognizes completely divided, separated. Then you just recognize that. But that is another tool. Before you just recognize this one never exists. See what people think about the human being or the person, the self, never exists. Once you just recognize this, then these things just all at the same time just come out. And the kind of the memory, the function of memory, once you just recognize that, so then just what happened, these things just they just here such a long before. Well, and that things just happen. But see, when you just when you face this, at that time, just the things just happen. Not before that. Before and after, nothing happened. But when you face this, the things just come out. At that time, only that time. Before, nothing at all. After, nothing at all. See, when you face this, when you just recognize this, at that time, the things just happen, come out. That's all. Nothing less at all. Nothing. Once you just recognize that, then you just recognize that, and the things is just the stay or being the before, but that is not true. When you face it, at that times the things just come out. That's all, and disappear, totally disappears, and then nothing left. Nothing left. That's the reason. That's the reason the things just come out and they disappear. They come out, disappear, so that so endless, or you may say endless, eternally. That's the kind of action just happen eternally. See, when you just wake up just this morning, then you just see, you just recognize the things. Then after that, so many things you just recognize. You just so many things you just see those things, but see, nothing left at all. Nothing left at all. But the things the things you face right now. See, it's very strange. So many things just, you have been just saying so many things, but nothing left. But the things just, what you say is there are just things you just face right now. Always. So when you face this, but this one, you just saw the things completely disappeared, and it just became the things you just faced. See, sound, ears, eyes, and tongue too. So even the thinking or thought. You see, you have been just thinking so many things, but nothing left at all. But the thinking thought, right now you just you just thinking. You see, this is so strange, so wondrous. But the people never just recognize this. No? This is most important thing to see. Whatever just the things just happen, whatever the things happen, but things is only one. Always the thing is just you face it, right? Always one thing. See, but the thing is this so many quickly, so many switches just happening. So that the thinking also to never follow what going on. So such a switch or quickly changing. This is never ever impossible to just follow. You see, 1 second, 1 second. The things what's going on right here is 1 second. The 100,000 changing. There are 100,000 changes just happening in 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 a second. So hundreds thousand changing. This kind of changing, this kind of swiftly quickly changing thinking also to never follow. Only the thinking also to be able to just chase or follow one changing in a second or two impossible. See, but this one, see, this is another other we think about the human body. This is the Dharma body. This Dharma body, even 100,000 changing just happen, completely just follow, completely chase. See, because there is no gap. There is no gap actually between this and this. No gap. Though. The things just happen exactly as we just faced it. You see, this is the kind of the things what we just think about, ourselves or the human body. This is the Dharma body. This is a universal. This one is the universal, universal complete, universal and complete thing, complete. You see, not what we thinking about the human body. See, this was very trustworthy, very much trustworthy. What is said? What is said? Objects, field of the senses, is that even though we do nothing and we think nothing, we are made like such things move when we face or come across condition. That is Dharma. So that's I just mentioned, as I mentioned about when you face this, you just become dead. You see, without doing anything, without thinking anything. You see, without awareness, we just do. Simply, we just become dead. This is such a strange thing, such a marvelous, such a wondrous thing. You see, this is Dharma body. You see, what do you think about? See, so that we don't do anything. We don't do anything. We don't need to do anything with thinking our thought. See, what people just try to do is people just try to think about what we have to do, what we should do before we just act. The people just so tired. People are just so tired to think about give up before we do something. So, too much thinking. But that is not. Although we don't just deny it. Thinking we don't deny the thinking or thought, but thinking or other with thinking or thought, we never act at all. Never act. See, this action or activity, this action or activity is a universal activity or universal activity, not the activity or the action of the thinking or thought. This is the totally misunderstanding that people just do. See, what people just think of is because as I just mentioned about because we just think about what we have to do, what we want to do, what we want to be, then we'll be able to just act. But this is totally misunderstanding. This is totally misunderstanding. See, before you just try to do, with thinking. We just simply act. We just simply act. Then that's the activity, that's action. We just realize, oh, I did. That's later. That's later. See, before you just try to do it, we just simply did. We simply do what we want to do, what we think about, what we have to do, what we want to do. You see, activity and action is the first. Then you recognize that, and then kind of thinking just what I did. That's later. See, before just thinking one thought, we just simply act. This is true. This is what we just call the activity or action. This activity or action is nothing concerned with the thinking or thought. Because Zen Master Dogen, Zen Master Dogen just teaches our action or activity is complete and universal, not the activity or action of thinking or thought. This is a very important thing. If you just wanna just do that in order to just realize who you are, what the true self is. See, our activity or our action is not human beings' activity or action, but universal. Hi. People recall past in being now. See, then people just realize what we have done without what we just think about the self. Then people just recognize that, and I did what I have done. Then people just add, people just add I. But before people just recognize that, see, I never just attached, never just attached. Only action. See, eat, smell, hear, this kind of without self. See, only action. But after just recognize this activity, this action, you just add, put the I. The I ate, I had, something just happened. But later, that's later. Before you recognize, I never attached, never be attached to only action, activity. That is a universal activity, not a human being's activity at all. People recall passing in being now saying yesterday, but yesterday never exists, always now. Now people just say yesterday in later in the world, by later in the world, but that is not true. Yesterday is right now. He established it in now. See? Past, what people just thinking about past is right now. Past never just exists. Right now, always right now. Right here. He establishes the self in now. Tap. It's hard. Why did you hit me? Why did you hit me? No one hit you. No one hit you. The kind of just happen, then disappear, completely disappear, nothing left at all. Then you just recognize that who did it. But that's late. The things never just exist, never just left it at all, never remained at all. See, that sort of things just happening in your mind, That is not reality at all. That is not reality at all. He becomes self-centered. Then people just recognize the self, recognize what we think about the self. See, but these things happen after. Before, just happen. Nothing what we just call the self or the people never exists. This is the most important thing. As long as you just realize who you are, Zazen. See, when you just do Zazen, see, simply just face to right now, right here. This is enough. See, even just things, even just you think about those things just happen past, but past is right now. Future is right now. Always right now, right here. This is the most important things. As long as you just do the Zazen, you see. Any kind of things are just no more left. No more left. Thank you so much. Even you just have a lot of questions. Well, I want to just expect you have your question about today. I have a kind of a business. Not a busy business, but someone just called me, just come. So I have to just go. Thank you so much. Then, thank you so much. In the even you just want to just come to sit with us, but the kind of circumstances, situation never just allow you just come to Japan. But just wait. The situation will be changing. Change will be soon. Okay, just wait. Then meanwhile, you just sit. Whenever you just free. This is the most important thing. Just sit, simple sit. Okay? はい。はい、thank you so much. ありがとうございました。メルシー、僕、はい。山岡先生、the day after tomorrow.
はい、はい、day after tomorrow。はい、よろしくお願いします。Thank you very much.
はい。